Hey, this is Peggy with Easy Peasy Machine Embroidery Software, and today I am in the Elite version, which has the digitizing, and we are going to be using Motifs to create circular projects. First, we can go into the digitizing two ways. We can either just go right here on the opening screen or blank canvas, and I prefer the blank canvas. And we're going to set our hoop size. I like to do the 260 by 260 for circular type projects. And there's our hoop. And now we're going to go to the Create tab, into the digitizing. And I'm just going to hit cancel here. You could also say start a new design with no picture. And we go into quick create. And we're going to turn off pattern fill. And we're going to turn on motif line. And we are going to go into the shape maker and make sure we have our circle. And I go into fill area and line. And I tell it what motif I want. And remember, there are different groups of motifs. And it's nice to kind of take a gander through all of them to see what's there. So I am going to go down into decorative stitches, and I'm going to go and get number 16. Say OK. And now all I have to do is click the insert shape, and there's my shape. And if I hold down the Control key, I can resize it accordingly. And now I'm going to go back up to fill area and line. And I'm going to choose another motif. Say OK. Go back here. And now I have another circle. And if I am going to put some kind of a batting under this, like maybe you're going to use it for like a large table centerpiece type thing that you might set something hot on, or if you want to just, put batting under it, what I would do is every few circles, I would do like a double stitch. Oops, I forgot to hold my corner down. I'm going to get rid of that and do that over again, and hold the Control key down and do a couple of those and I would actually change the color. There's a method to my madness. And those lines I would do at the very end. That's why I made a different color, because I don't typically add the batting while I'm doing all the decorative stitches. So I would go and put these at the very end. Let's go back into fill area and line and turn that back to a motif line. And now I can go into some of the other stitches Let's do crafting stitches. Maybe you're doing a fall runner. Hold down the control, and there you've got some leaves that you've added. You can also, let me think about this for a second, and the thing I like most about the MySewnet software is that I can go back and forth. So right now I am in the regular embroidery section, and I can go back and forth. And right now I'm circling the icon that shows that this is a digitized tile or slide, whatever you want to call it. So I can right click and still go back into digitizing and mess with that. But right now I'm going to do an insert. Actually, I'm just going to do a super design, and I'm going to type leaf in here and hit enter and see if I can't find just a regular leaf. And then I'm going to set the size of that leaf. So I'm going to make that about 1 inch, 25 millimeters. I'm going to go over to Encore, and I'm going to say I want that repeated 10 times. And I'm going to stretch that out. And now I can go back. I'm going to say apply here. Now I can go back into the digitizing and say edit in digitizing. Now these leaves are probably not going to show up in the digitizing because they were done in the embroidery module. So here's where you have to do some guesswork. So again, I'm going to go into motif line here, and I'm going to go quick create, turn off my pattern fill, bring up motif line again, fill area and line. I'm going to pick the motif stitch that I want to do, and I'm going to say OK, and hold down my control key. And now I can go back into the embroidery module and see what I've done. If I need to resize it, I can. I love doing these. They're so much fun. And you just keep adding and adding. The other way you could have done that, and we're going to go back here. I could have saved the Encore design that I just did. And we're going to do a export, and we're going to call that, we're just going to say untitled export, because I probably won't keep that. And now I can go back to Creativate. We're going to get rid of that. I can go back into digitizing. And I can hit cancel here, insert embroidery. There's my leaf. And we're going to go down to the very bottom, and we're going to do quick create, and we're going to turn off pattern fill, and we're going to do motif line, fill area, say OK, and now we can, whoops, keep forgetting to hold my control key down. So now we can add to that, and I'm going to do one more circle. Actually, I'm going to do a whole nother one, and then I'm going to make it big enough, and there you have another centerpiece. Okay, so have fun playing. And another thing that I like to do, I'm going to save that because I do like it. So I'm going to do an export, and we're going to do, say, AMPLE sample, and then I'm going to put some letters after it so I keep it. We're going to get rid of that, and we're doing Control A and get rid of everything there. I like to do, let's get rid of something up there. I like to do a hoop size that is, we're going to do a 900 by 260. And then I like to go into point create. We still got motifs. We're going to do a create area or line. And I like to just place my dots there. And I'm actually going to do something different here. I'm going to go to fill area and line. And I'm going to go to crafting stitches, and I'm going to start with number 1. And now I'm going to go create area and line, and then I'm going to go to motifs, and I'm going to go number 2 and say OK, and create area and line. And I'm going to keep doing that until I have all of them. And just keep increasing the number. And then I actually, when I have them all done, I will take and do a screenshot. So I will do a hold down the Windows key and a Shift and an S, and I will put a box around the whole file, and then I will go into my paint program, or I can go into, let's do Open Office, which is a free program. Find it online, and I'm just going to paste that in there, and now I have a document that has what all of those motifs look like. And I do it in order of numbered, so it's all in a numbered sequence, and usually at the very top I'll put some kind of text that says crafting stitches, the Husqvarna Viking group, or the FAF group, and what number it is, so that might be menu F or whatever. And so that's how I do those. And I think that concludes the lesson for today. Have fun playing with motifs. You can also, let's go back and do something else here before I end this video. I'm going to discard that. We're going to do a discard that. You can also take and do your quick create. I did this for sachets, and I used heart number 72. And I'm going to see what my full size is, and I'm going to take and change my hoop. You can also do a Control H to resize your hoop. And I'm going to do a 120 by 120 hoop. And I'm just going to do a double stitch for the border. And I'm going to hold my Control key down until I have the size heart that I want. And now I'm going to do an insert color change. So to do that, I right click. Let's go back. I do a right click, insert color change. Remember, a right click always brings up a menu. So insert color change, and just pick any old color. Now I'm going to go to Point Create, and I'm going to switch double stitch onto motif lines, fill area and line, and I'm going to go to Universal and Geometric. And I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to drop my points. And again, and again, and I don't like that one, so I'm going to double click, and I'm going to say that I want it to fit to the line. And that didn't do anything, I can tell, because I can still see. And I am going to take that height down and say OK. And now I'm going to move that line in just a little bit. OK. And apply. And I think that's good. And I don't like that motif, so I'm going to use another one. And now I'm going to bring that line out. Okay, and that's how that's done. You can change motifs all the way down. Another thing I'm going to say here is if you were to change your grid down to, say, 10 millimeters, or even 5 millimeters, it helps you keep those lines even. So you keep it right on the line. Okay, so now I'm done with the lesson. I took these and I sewed them together and I stuffed them with some potpourri and put them in a nice bowl and put those on the table. Okay, so hope you've learned something and had a little fun with motifs. Catch you later. Bye.